Most people do not change their lives in one dramatic moment. They change because of small rules, quiet rules, rules that almost look too simple to matter. But if you follow them long enough, they start changing how you think, how you work, how you learn, and how you see yourself. Your life is not only shaped by big decisions. It is shaped by what you repeat when nobody is watching. The first rule is simple. Make it visible. Most people carry their entire life inside their head. Their goals are in their head. Their worries are in their head. Their plans are in their head. Their problems are in their head. And because everything stays invisible, everything feels bigger than it really is. A messy mind can make a simple life feel impossible. So the first tool is not motivation. It is externalization. Take the thought out of your head, put it on paper, draw it, list it, map it. When something becomes visible, it becomes workable. A problem in your mind feels like fog. A problem on paper becomes a shape. And once it has a shape, you can begin to move around it. The second rule is this: make the beginning smaller. Most people do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because the starting point is too heavy. They say, I need to change my entire life. I need to become disciplined. I need to fix my body, my career, my money, my focus, my sleep, my mind. And the brain hears all of that and quietly refuses to begin. A better rule is to shrink the door. Do not start with a perfect routine. Start with one page, one push-up, one clean corner, one saved dollar, one focused minute. The smaller the start, the less your brain has to fight. A tiny action is not tiny if it breaks the pattern. The third rule is protect your first hour. The first hour of the day is like wet cement. Whatever touches it leaves a mark. If the first thing you give your mind is noise, comparison, messages, stress, and other people's opinions, your whole day begins from reaction. You wake up, but your attention belongs to someone else. You may still work. You may still answer emails. You may still do things. But you are not leading the day. The day is leading you. Protecting your first hour does not mean building a perfect morning routine. It simply means giving your mind a clean beginning. No chaos before clarity. No scrolling before thinking. No outside world before your own direction. Even 10 quiet minutes can change the tone of an entire day. The fourth rule is build systems, not moods. Motivation is useful, but it is unreliable. Some days you feel clear. Some days you feel heavy. Some days you feel powerful. Some days brushing your teeth feels like a negotiation. If your life depends on your mood, your life becomes unstable. A system is different. A system says, this is what I do, even when I do not feel inspired. The writer does not wait to feel like a writer. The writer sits down. The healthy person does not wait to feel healthy. They make the next healthy choice. The focused person does not wait for focus to magically appear. They remove distractions and begin. A system turns identity into behavior, and behavior, repeated quietly, becomes evidence. The fifth rule is learn by explaining. Most people think learning means reading, watching, highlighting, and saving. But recognition is not understanding. You can recognize an idea and still not own it. The real test is simple. Can you explain it clearly? Can you explain it without hiding behind complicated words? Can you explain it to a beginner? When you explain something, your mind reveals the gaps. The parts you understand become simple. The parts you do not understand become blurry. That blur is not failure. It is a map. It shows you where to look again. If you want to learn faster, do not only consume, translate, teach, simplify, turn knowledge into your own words. Because the mind does not truly keep what it only sees. It keeps what it rebuilds. The sixth rule is remember with places. The human brain is surprisingly good at remembering spaces. You may forget a sentence you read yesterday, but you can still remember the layout of a childhood home. You can remember where the door was, where the window was, where the sofa stood, where the light came in. This is why one of the oldest memory techniques uses places. You take an idea and you place it somewhere in your imagination. A rule near the door, a fact on the table, a lesson by the window, a number on the stairs. Suddenly, memory is not just storage. It becomes a room you can walk through. This is the basic idea behind the memory palace. And it works because the mind loves images more than abstract words. If you want to remember something, do not only repeat it, give it a place. Give it an image and make it strange enough to stay. The seventh rule is let boredom return. Modern life gives you an escape from every empty second. Standing in line. Open the phone. Waiting for food. Open the phone. Feeling awkward? Open the phone. Feeling tired? Open the phone. But boredom is not always the enemy. Sometimes boredom is the doorway back to attention. When the mind is never allowed to be empty, it never learns how to go deep. It jumps, it scans, it searches. It asks for another hit of novelty. Focus starts to feel painful, not because focus is impossible, but because distraction has become too easy. Letting boredom return does not mean doing nothing forever. It means creating small spaces where your brain is not constantly fed. A walk without audio. A meal without a screen. A few minutes of silence before work. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Then something interesting happens. Your mind starts producing its own thoughts again. The eighth rule is keep one promise daily. Confidence is not only built by success, it is built by self-trust. And self-trust is built when you do what you said you would do. Most people break small promises to themselves all day. I will start tomorrow. I will sleep earlier tonight. I will not check my phone again. I will work on this for 10 minutes. Each broken promise seems small, but the mind is always listening. Over time, it learns whether your words mean something. So do not begin with a giant promise. Begin with one you can keep. Drink the water, write the line, take the walk, clean the desk. Read one page. Send the message. The point is not the size of the action. The point is becoming the kind of person who follows through. One kept promise per day can quietly rebuild your identity. The ninth rule is think in trade-offs. Every choice costs something. When you say yes to one path, you say no to another. When you choose comfort now, you may be choosing difficulty later. When you choose difficulty now, you may be buying freedom later. Most people suffer because they want the benefit without the cost. They want focus without boredom, health without restraint, money without patience, skill without repetition, peace without boundaries. But life does not remove the cost. It only lets you choose where to pay it. Thinking in trade-offs makes you more honest. It helps you stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "What cost am I willing to accept?" This question changes everything, because every life is expensive. The only question is whether you are paying for the one you actually want. The 10th rule is design your environment. We like to believe we are stronger than our surroundings, but most of the time, we become what our environment makes easy. If the phone is beside you, checking it becomes easy. If junk food is visible, eating it becomes easy. If your workspace is chaotic, distraction becomes easy. If your goals are hidden, forgetting them becomes easy. Willpower can help. But environment works even when willpower is tired. So change the room before you blame the person. Put the book where the phone used to be. Put the phone in another room. Put the notebook open on the desk. Put the running shoes by the door. Make the good action obvious. Make the bad action annoying. You do not rise to your goals every day. You often fall to the design of your environment, so design it with care. These 10 rules are not magic. They will not change everything overnight. They will not make life painless. They will not turn you into a different person by tomorrow morning. But they do something better. They give your mind a structure. They make change smaller. They make focus easier. They make learning clearer. They make discipline less dramatic. They turn self-improvement from a fantasy into a set of tools. Make it visible. Start smaller. Protect your first hour. Build systems, not moods. Learn by explaining. Remember with places. Let boredom return. Keep one promise daily. Think in trade-offs. Design your environment. You do not need to master all 10 today. Choose one. Use it today. Then use it again tomorrow. A better life is not built by one intense burst of motivation. It is built by quiet rules, repeated long enough to become who you are.